when I was on Wall Street, so to speak, and I'm still not. And they're extraordinarily upset. In fact, I was on another program maybe about 6 months ago, and we had a person from the State Department get on the program who evidently is not enraptured about what is going on in Washington. And he told me that your publication is in every department in Washington, in every embassy and consulate throughout the world. He said, your newsletter has to be the most copied in the world. And, of course, it's very flattering. On the other hand, nobody pays for it except, obviously, one person. But they may hate me, but they got their ear to the ground as well. And I'm sure if they could find me, they would make my life end. Let's just put it that way. But anyway, gold actually had a good day today. It's $5 or $6 off. Big deal. It's a typical, routine, normal Monday in gold by our government. They're rigging the market, and they're trying to keep the stock market up. It happens every Monday. So what do you do on Monday? You buy. That's what you do. And it's interesting, all the gold stocks were down today. Not too much. They gave up what they made on Friday, with one exception. And that was up about a point. And that was the stock I recommended today. So, anyway, there you go. And tomorrow should be a good day in gold. It swung down. What was the low on the day? About 9:10 or something? 9:05?
It was about 9:14.
Yeah. You know, you could count that as another test of the general 900 area. And every time it swings down and swings back up again, it's good for us. And I still see these services on gold's going down and silver's going down, and we're in the beginning of a new bull market. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, don't any of these people who do chart cycles and waves, don't they ever look at fundamentals? And don't they understand that the markets are rigged? So how the heck can those kind of things work very well? They can't, because we've seen in the past how often these poor souls have been wrong over and over and over again. And, it just gets me. Anyway, that's what's going on out there.
I just want to make a comment. You know, you were talking about Cramer and the link to the video and everything. Well, it's difficult to find that link to the Rick Santelli outburst that he had on CNBC, and I don't even see him on CNBC anymore. And I don't know if I just missed some or
No, he's on there.
Is he still on there?
Yeah.
But yeah, they pulled the video. Because I went to watch it again, and it was gone. It says it was it was the property of such and such, and they will no longer view it.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just telling about how they're no longer allowing people to view the Rick Santelli outburst. That they pulled it.
It's been so distorted. I think the bottom line can be summed up in one line. Why should we be bailing out all of these people who did what they shouldn't have done? And that goes the whole daisy chain, the banks, the lenders, the credit rating agencies, the Federal Reserve, the U.S. Treasury, and the borrowers. And why should we have to do that? And we shouldn't have to do that. And that's all he was really saying.
Right.
And I agree. Now, what is it next? We're going to pay everybody's credit card bill? Are we going to do this, that, and the other thing? I mean, I don't know. Where does it all end? Now they're talking about lowering the money owed on mortgages arbitrarily and making sure that the payments are only 38% of their gross or net, whatever it is, income. That's absolutely insanity. All these crooks who lied in their applications, and 80% of them did, and that is a fact. They're going to get rewarded.
Yeah.
And all the people who did the right thing are going to pay for that. I mean, that is not right. And on top of it, you've got all this money that was kicked out to Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, PNC Financial, U.S. Bancorp, J.P. Morgan Chase, via AIG, secretly. And, you know, I went in to pick out a piece today, and it was about the fact that Paulson was behind the statements that said, look, you either pass this bill or you'll have martial law. He was the one who did it. And the article had been taken down. So we furiously went through the Internet trying to find it, and we found it. And we have it in the next issue. There's only 3 or 4 paragraphs I pulled out. But the point is that these people will stop at nothing. You just can't, you cannot understand these, they're psychopaths, not only sociopaths. I mean, if they don't have it their way, they'll blow the world up. I mean, this is what these people are like. Now, I didn't see much of that nuttiness when I worked on Wall Street, but you sure see it today. I mean, they are high-binding, don't care, do what they want people. And it's as simple as that. So, anyway, I don't know what the American people are going to do, but I do know this, that U6 unemployment is 17.8% by 1980 figures. The government admits to 14.8% unemployment under U6. That's going to be 22% by the end of the year, maybe higher. And it will be 25 to 35% next year, including the stimulus package. In fact, I would not be surprised if in January they have another one for $2 trillion. I mean, these people have lost it, and they've lost control. They're trying to hold this together as long as they can so they can pull the plug at the propitious time. And they've got to have a major war going on to do that. So get ready. Your children and your grandchildren are to go get slaughtered. And so are the children and grandchildren of other people throughout the world. I mean, this is the only thing these people know. And this sort of action goes back for centuries. So when we got next year, especially toward the end of next year, which is about a year and a half from now or so, you're going to see a major sociological problem in America. The unemployment will be preposterous. It'll be almost as big, if not bigger, than what we saw in the 1930s. And many people will have lost their homes. I mean, I don't have to tell you there's 10 cities all over the country already. And there'll be no jobs and no way to make an income. No vehicles because they will have been repossessed. And if you notice, a lot more people are killing people who are repossessing automobiles. And, you know, they see them taking the car away. They don't know who they are, and they shoot them to death. And you're going to see lots of it. In fact, I wouldn't take the job of a repo man unless I had 5 guys with me with machine guns, because it's going to be rife. I mean, you got a family that lives 25 miles out of a major city, and they get kicked out of their house and have no cars. Somebody got to tell me what they're going to do. Well, they're going to turn to violence. What else can they do? And martial law is not going to be a solution for that. I mean, you know, the police know what's going on, the law enforcement, and by golly, the military does too. And I think you'll see a coup before that goes too much further. And I think that will be a military coup, and it's not going to be by the Pentagon. I just pulled down a article from the L.A. Times this morning about a new, I don't know whether you want to call it a dirigible or what, that they're going to have over the country, floating around at 65,000 feet, watching the movement of everything in the country. I mean, what kind of a country is that? I mean, this is a $400 million Pentagon project. Why do they have to know such a thing? Because they want to track the entire population. I mean, you know, you have in your vehicles today these chips which allow them to be able to follow John Jones around.